Hello, Jess. Thank you very much for joining me tonight to demonstrate how EFT works. And we've worked together before. So would you like to just share, your experience of EFT, emotional freedom technique?
Yeah, so I came to Stephanie feeling quite anxious in the beginning about different things, sort of stuff that I had going on in life, work, sort of things just really taking off for me. And we tried EFT with a few things when there was feelings that I just didn't really feel were budging sort of into the anxiety program. And EFT was so helpful in sort of releasing those emotions for me. And it sort of, I think I actually cried a couple of times when we did EFT and got quite emotional because it was sort of really felt like it was overcoming sort of feelings and emotions that I just felt like had been there for so long. So yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Oh, I'm really, really pleased. So just for the people viewing this video who might not know much about EFT, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's a little bit like psychological acupuncture, but without the needles. So it involves tapping on the Chinese meridian point. So first of all, like this, starting out with like a karate chop. And this is where we do the setup phrase. So we say the setup phrase 3 times. So it really focuses the mind on what we want to work on. And then after that, we tap on the Chinese meridian points whilst really focusing on the emotions and, whatever memory or vision pops up in our minds that might be associated with the emotion, so that as we're tapping, it actually releases it. It's a very powerful technique, and it also works with the subconscious mind, just like hypnotherapy does, and havening, which is another technique that I use. So what is it that you'd like to work on today?
I think it's sort of feelings of overwhelmed. I think when things start to build up a little bit, whether it be at work or personally, and it sort of feels like it's one thing after another, and I think things are changing a lot in the world and stuff, and I think it's just a sense of feeling of stress and overwhelmed that I'm getting at the minute.
Okay, so what would you say is the emotion that is the biggest one, which the stress or the overwhelm, which would you say is the biggest one that you're feeling?
Probably the overwhelm.
Yeah. And on a scale of 0 to 10, if you could really tune into it, what number would you say it's at the moment?
Probably about a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And whereabouts can you feel it in your body?
My head.
Okay. And what colour is it?
Probably a blue.
Okay. And what would you say the density is? So would you say it's quite heavy, or is it quite light, or how would you?
Like a light blue, sort of like a sky blue.
Okay, yeah. Right. So and it does it feel light within your body, or does it feel quite heavy?
It feels really heavy. It's sort of like it starts in my head and then it's like weighing down.
Right. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with the setup phrase. Okay, and what's this overwhelm related to? You said it's related to the world changing, and that's in terms of work, or can you be more specific about it?
I think it just being quite a busy time of year work wise, and having a lot of different things on, and I'm working on a lot of new things as well, sort of coupled with the fact that obviously restrictions and stuff are changing and things are going back to normal, and it just feeling like there's a lot of change in my life at once, really.
Okay. Okay, just making a note of that. Okay, so even though I can feel this heavy blue feeling, feeling of overwhelm,
a feeling of overwhelm
about work and how the world is changing,
About work and how the world is changing.
It's really overwhelming for me.
It's really overwhelming for me.
And I can feel it in my head.
I can feel it in my head.
It feels really heavy weighing down on me.
It feels really heavy weighing down on me.
I'd like to let this go.
I'd like to let this go.
And how would you like to feel?
Light and not full of worry.
So perhaps if you can think of a positive word instead of worry.
Light and confident.
And confident. I'd like to let this go.
I'd like to let this go.
And feel relaxed, light and confident.
And feel relaxed, light and confident.
Even though
I
have this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I have this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I feel it in my head.
I feel it in my head.
About the world changing.
About the world changing.
And work is so busy.
And work is so busy.
I'd like to let this go.
I'd like to let this go.
And feel light and confident.
And feel light and confident.
Even though I can feel this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it in my head.
I can feel it in my head.
About the world changing.
About the world changing.
The restrictions changing.
The restrictions changing.
So many things changing.
So many things changing.
I'd like to let this go.
I'd like to let this go.
And feel light and confident.
And feel light and confident.
I have this blue feeling of overwhelm.
I have this blue feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it in my head.
I can feel it in my head.
About the world changing.
About the world changing.
It's such a busy time.
It's such a busy time.
The restrictions keep changing.
The restrictions keep changing.
And it's a busy time.
And it's a busy time.
The world is changing.
The world is changing.
And we're going back to normal.
And we're going back to normal.
Sometimes change can be hard.
Sometimes change can be hard.
But it can also be so positive.
It can also be so positive.
I have this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I have this heavy blue feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it in my head.
I can feel it in my head.
But perhaps I can be open to the possibility.
But perhaps I could be open to the possibility.
That all this change is so positive.
That all this change is so positive.
I'd like to let this overwhelm go.
I'd like to let this overwhelm go.
And just feel light and confident.
And just feel light and confident.
Okay, now take a deep breath. Okay, now just focus in on that feeling of overwhelm. Where can you feel it now?
It's probably down in my chest.
Okay, and what number would you say it's at?
About a 3.
Okay, and what colour is it?
Sorry, you froze them.
What colour is it?
It's like a pink.
Okay. And
like
go on.
Like a light pink, like a baby pink.
Okay, right. And it's still about the world changing and you're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah. Okay. So even though I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm, I can feel it light pink in my chest.
I can feel it light pink in my chest.
About the world changing.
About the world changing.
I'm becoming so busy with one thing after another to do.
I'm becoming so busy with one thing after another to do.
I'm choosing to let this go.
I'm choosing to let this go.
And feel light and confident.
And feel light and confident.
Even though I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it light pink in my chest.
I can feel it light pink in my chest.
About how the world is changing.
About how the world is changing.
And about feeling so busy.
And about feeling so busy.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
But I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to feel light and confident.
I'm choosing to feel light and confident.
Even though I have this light pink feeling of overwhelm.
I have this light pink feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it in my chest.
I can feel it in my chest.
About the world changing.
About the world changing.
And being so busy.
And being so busy.
I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
And feel light and confident.
And feel light and confident.
I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
I can feel it in my chest.
I can feel it in my chest.
It's pink.
It's pink.
I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
I have this remaining feeling of overwhelm.
It's pink in my chest.
It's pink in my chest.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to let this overwhelm go.
I can feel it. I can feel it releasing.
I can feel it releasing.
Oh, is that your little brother? Oh,
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. He's okay. He's all right, Jazz. He's okay there. Oh, I'm choosing to let this go.
I'm choosing to let this go.
I can feel it releasing.
I can feel it releasing.
This pink overwhelm.
This pink overwhelm.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to let this pink overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to let this pink overwhelm go.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to let it go.
I'm choosing to feel light and confident.
I'm choosing to feel light and confident.
I'm choosing to feel confident.
I'm choosing to feel confident.
Okay, take a deep breath. Oh, he's stealing the show, isn't he? Oh, hello. How do you feel now? Just rate it on a scale of 0 to 10.
Probably a 0. Feel really light.
Oh,
really released.
Fantastic. I'm really, really pleased. And, you know, that's just within maybe about sort of 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of tapping. And, you know, as, you know, you can do this with any memories or emotions, you know, things that are even more serious or even just something even lighter, you know, just to help you to feel better. And just remembering that setup phrase and then just going round, and you actually cannot go wrong. You can't do this wrong at all. So it's great for you to do at home. And I'll send you an EFT worksheet afterwards as well. But thank you very much. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So